I'm just dirty. I've been working, welding, grinding.
Alrighty, welcome back, my main bad Chad. We got
Little Mick.
Little Mick on the mic, and we got Queen Jolene filming. And we just walked in here. Never been here before in my life. I met Mick or seen Mick at Gene Winfield's car show. A friend of ours named Roy Brown, actually Danny Brown's looking after our dog. His son won your artwork, or his father won your artwork at that show. Okay. So we're going to show you did a piece of artwork there.
Yeah, we used to do a bit for Alzheimer's with Chip Fooster's family.
Yeah, it was auctioned off. Yeah, I met Chip's father there actually.
Yeah, and his mum, yeah.
Yeah, it was auctioned off, and Roy won the piece. And now we're here at the place where the man done the artistic drawing with an airbrush, was it not? Yeah, the name is Mick. And the first thing I walked in, I seen this in the bike. Talk to me.
Well, this was built, I started building a bubble top, and then suddenly, like everyone around the country, well, let's build a bubble top, let's build it. So I stopped building it for about 3 months into it. And I found out half the bubble tops weren't even getting built, so I finished it. About 6 or 7 months on it. So it's all steel.
Yeah.
It's on a T-bucket chassis that's already engineered in Australia, so therefore you don't have to get engineered for street roadworthy. You know, to make it put on the street. Okay. So I got that done, and then as I built it, I got the engineers to check it and check it and check it. So because I wanted to build something that could drive, you know. Right. And so it's basically all still, you know, there's a few joins in the body, but most of it I did out of steel. It's all wire welded together. Yep. Tacked with the MIG, and the only thing's fiberglass of the seat bases. And I had to cut the bubbles to make it open so I could get in on the street. Yep. Now this is all on air. So that's on air. This slides back on air. It's got air bags. So I used to have it at the car shows, and I'd be there airbrushing a T-shirt. You know, I had the compressor running for the airbrush, right? And I had a lever at my foot, and the car was over there, and a little kid had come running over to the car, and all of a sudden the car would go up, go down, the hood, the top would open, and the parents, leave that car alone. You know, you're not supposed to be playing with it. And they didn't know I was working it for 20 feet away. You know, it was pretty funny.
No, that's pretty cool. I've never seen it before in my life. Why hasn't it not made the magazines yet?
Yeah, it was on the cover of a magazine. Was it? Yeah.
Like an Aussie magazine?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they did a big story on it. And
not an American magazine or anything?
No, I don't think so. No.
Has it never been in an American magazine?
No.
Wow. It should have been.
And then I had the back glass off it once, and my girlfriend, she jumped in a car and it was in gear and turned the key, rolled forward and broke the back window. Yeah. So I had to make another bubble. So I had a spare bubble, so I'll build a motorcycle. And
man, that thing is like, that's cool.
So it's half trike, half motorcycle, you know, so same seats and everything.
So you're blowing your bubble, then you're cutting your bubble.
Yeah.
After.
Well, one bubble, I cut them in half.
Yeah, right. I was trying to explain that to the guy there. We were to the museum, and I think it's Kid Dean or does the coffin car, the remake of the coffin car.
Dick Dean.
Yeah,
America.
his son. Yeah, his son does Keith Dean does the bubbles for the coffin car, and he was saying how I was just trying to explain to him how they blew it in one bubble, then cut it in half, and just capped the end of it.
Have you been to Keith's shop?
I have not. I've never met the man.
I stopped in to see him. I met him a long time ago with his dad. His dad was a good friend of mine. Yeah. No, Dick Dean. He built the Munster car and a lot of cars he never got credit for, you know. Right. But I went to his shop and he would have had 10 cars all in line that he'd chopped and just tacked. Yeah. And he gives them back to the customer like that. You take it away, you weld it, you do the filler, but yeah. You couldn't believe Caddies, Mercs, Chevys, all kinds of things, all in a line, all chopped, ready to go.
And just tack them all together.
Great stuff.
So explain to me what you got going on here, so if I want to make one.
So this is a rear axle, but the wheel is offset, so from behind, it looks like a trike. So it's symmetrical from the rear. Okay. So it's got a dropped axle, but this is the drive wheel with a Chevy brake on this side. This wheel just freewheels. And then the whole, same as the car, the whole car opens up like a funny car, you know? So there's this one. So Very basic.
Well, if you don't know, you don't know, and I don't know. So you've got a chain running there, and you just build off that, build an axle over here.
Yeah, but that's very solid, actually.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. That's just welded to that bar over there. If you made that, you put a seat on it.
Yeah, all rigid.
It's
no rear suspension.
Okay.
A lot of Harleys don't even have suspension.
Yes,
in here,
yes. That doesn't bother me one second. I'm just looking to see how you done it. And this is all sheet metal.
Yeah. And so's this. This is all. I had this at a show, all polished metal.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
All done on pullmax.
Oh wow.
And then Gene came over here and I showed him the pullmax. So he said, I gotta get one of these machines.
Yeah.
So every time I was going over there, I was making different dies. I was testing the dies here and go and put them in his machine. You know, making parts for Mercs, mainly the back panel, splash panel from Merc, but it's a very versatile machine. You know, it's a bead roller, a louver press, a English wheel, and it's very fast compared to an English wheel. You'd love it. Watching the stuff you do. This oil tank. Well, that oil tank. This bike over here. Well, all that's made on the Pullmax. All these fenders.
Yes.
They're all made on the Pullmax. And this was done on the doming die. So it's just it starts off with a flat sheet.
Yeah.
And just really quick. See this oil tank here. That was a flat steel. That takes about 15 minutes on a Pullmax to go from a flat steel to a ball.
Okay. Now you're talking.
And then this, what about you?
This thing's badass.
Yeah, this oil tank here. See that oil tank? It's a chrome ball.
Yeah.
That was done on the Pullmax too. The fender, gas tank. All these beads were done on the Pullmax.
Okay.
Oil tank was done on the Pullmax. I just love it.
You have that Pullmax here?
Yeah. And I was watching the guy do the louvers the other day, but I can do louvers any length. From that long to as long as you want, and curved if you want to. Just got to make up a die to follow, you know.
Okay.
But
Got yourself your own t-shirt press?
All t-shirt designers.
Man, you're a man of your own.
Well, I had Ed Roth's son sold me their designs for 12 months. So I was selling Roth designs and my own designs, you know.
Yeah.
And so we don't do that much printing anymore. But we used to, we used to do a lot.
What do you get in here?
This is Tracy's car. This is a Riviera. So I extended the hood. I don't know, probably from about, I think the Rivi head. This is just stainless exhaust for the bumper.
Yeah.
I made that, made the grille, made the headlight shrouds. It's like Elvira's car, but a pretty Elvira's.
Yes.
Cut the roof off, caddy tail lights. I enhanced all the lines with quarter rod. You know, just brought them out a bit.
Can I walk over there and take a side view?
Yeah, sure.
Watch yourself. Look at this now, would you? Jesus. Right.
So I took the vents, the chrome off these, and put quarter rod round.
Yeah.
So it enhanced them, you know. And I made them work. I don't think they work on the real ones. And I took, well, there's really 3 inches out of the roof, but I've left there's still a stock windshield, you know.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty old now.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's got a nail head and it's a really fast car to drive. For a girl.
For a girl.
For a girl.
Yeah.
This is that van out here. This is the one I had at Winfield's for a long time. It's Gene's for probably 5 years. I chopped it 5 inches. I pulled up at Gene's and said, we get a windscreen cut for this tomorrow? He said, yeah, we can get a windshield cut. I said, I'm going to chop it tonight. And he said, okay. He said, brought me out a pile of cutting discs and said, we're going for dinner. We'll come back and help you chop it. By the time we got from dinner, I had it chopped and tacked together. And then the guy came the next day, took the windshield, cut it, bought it back $200. And then it broke about a year or so ago over here.
Shitty.
But I made it right-hand drive and put a bigger engine in it and lowered it and seed the chassis. So
You're not scared of the work then?
That's what you do, huh? You got to do everything, don't you? But yeah, you got the right idea. You do everything till you've got to spend a lot of money on it, don't you? Like, you do all the bits you can do. See, I can't do upholstery. I can't do chrome.
Yeah.
I can't do unless someone throws a chunk of money at you. You just do what you can and have fun.
Exactly.
That's like that truck I'm building. Oh, I'm building a truck in there. I'll show
Let's do it.
It's cost me nothing. I had a Merc here. I did, and I did it on a $3,000 budget.
There you go.
Chopped, two-doored it. I did a lot of work on it.
This is this. Would you like to ride around something like that, baby?
If you got time, we'll do a quick thing on the pullmax. I'll give you a bit of a demo.
I'm just looking around. I see so much stuff. I just see shit, man, everywhere. Gas tanks.
How about
Look at that now, would you? You're making those?
Yeah. Just get them cast up. They just dip them in the sand.
Yeah.
Pour them. I started making them out of fiberglass. I was going to get the fiberglass chromed.
Yeah.
This guy said, I'll take them to the foundry, and he just kept making them for me. I'll put them in a Merc I built.
Like everybody wants those, do they not?
Yeah. That's even nice, because you get the fiberglass chrome now.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody wants those.
One of Gene's.
Yeah.
I got made a mould for that. Made a rat fink. I got a mould for him. And see this thing. Someone gave me the body, so it was a 36 Oldsmobile. I sat in it. I thought it's too small for me, so I made the sides and made into a delivery unit. I got a Lincoln engine for nothing, a Lincoln transmission for nothing, Lincoln rear end for nothing. The chassis was with the car, so I've channeled it over the chassis, and everything's in there. It's cost. I had to buy a steering box for $50, and I had to buy some door catchers so far. But I haven't had time to work, and I've been building other people's cars.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
The grill shell you get over there.
That's it. That's off it.
Okay.
It's really nice, isn't it?
It is nice. I agree with you 100%.
But the trouble was, he got a bunch of stuff with it that was chromed. And all the grill bars have been re-chromed, wrapped in newspaper. When I unwrapped them, all the chrome just fell off them. And they're all rotten. See, this is the
This is a mad scientist layer.
Lincoln. But I'm gonna cut this one down, and then I can make the grill bars any length. So they just bolt in.
Wow, that's nice up here, eh?
Yeah, it is nice. And then that's the Lincoln radiator. So I'm going to see if they can cut that down because the engine's open now.
Yeah.
This engine, we fired it up. It's quiet as a mouse. Beautiful.
Look at the stuff you got everywhere, man.
I suicided the doors. I chopped it 8 inches.
Yeah.
Suicided the doors, and I'm just going to do that. I got all the firewall done and the front of the floor. They got the hard part of the floor done. The rest is just out. I'm going to put the stock fenders on, but I'm going to cut them down really narrow so they're only like this wide, and then bead them. Put a.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So almost like the bubble top. Fenders like that.
Yeah.
Because one fender's really badly rusted on there. Instead of making a patch panel this big, I think I'll make a patch panel that big.
Yeah.
See, this is the pullmax. It does. I just got a really nice. See, that's what I make the ball out of. Just those two, really quick.
And it does it really quick?
Yeah. Yeah, you'll be surprised.
And you're making your own dies?
No, they came with it, but I do make my own dies. See, like this.
Yeah. Now do a bead.
And you just make it out of tool steel.
Yeah.
I'm not tool steel, mild steel, because it's only hitting mild steel, unless you're going to do thousands of panels. I've got boxes of different dies here. I don't know what I've done. Oh, you know what? I think this is the louver press. So you've got the louver die that goes down in there. You start it, you open it, you run it along the length of the louver, however long you want. Finish the louver. Done.
Huh.
Pretty cool.
Wow.
I did a 36 Chev, and I did louvers. You know, started them at 2 inches and went right down to about 12-inch louvers on an angle on the hood. Look killer.
Okay, I see what's going on there. It's got an angle down there.
And the louver die is not that big wherever it is.
That's cool. You can make a louver any length you want it, in any shape you want it.
Yeah, Crazy. It's all here somewhere. I find them when I need them.
Yeah, I understand. So you're big into motorcycles, gas tanks. You're just yeah.
A lot of cars, a lot of bikes. So you know, I've always been a painter, you know, doing artwork, you know, because I used to do the centerfolds for a motorcycle magazine here, you know, the centerfold every month.
Yeah.
And then do a calendar, and then do a yearbook. So I did I was doing probably 30 paintings a year for the center of the motorcycle magazine. Sometimes the cover I do. And then the company said, there isn't any tattoo magazines out there. Why don't you start a tattoo magazine? So they made me editor of a tattoo magazine. Couldn't use a computer, couldn't do anything. So I think I was editor for 20 years of the tattoo magazine.
Well, that, and you didn't know your calling, did you?
Editor, yeah, but then the internet happened. The magazines all finished. Same with the motorcycle magazine, all died.
And this because of the computer?
Internet.
The internet.
Do you buy magazines anymore?
No, I do not. No. But you know what? I learned so much from the magazines. You know, flipping through them, see what you like, what you don't like. You know, it was
Well, now it's the internet, isn't it? You just type in, I want to do this, and it comes up.
Yeah. Well, you really don't get to, I suppose. I'm not on the internet. I don't own a phone. I don't do that sort of thing anymore. I kind of scroll and but I don't get to visually search anything I want to do anymore. I just kind of go about it and do what I like.
But for tattooing now, you know, I used to sell designs overseas, packets of designs, you know, like 10 sheets with about 20 designs on them. And they used to pay for my trip to America all the time. And now people just get on the internet and just type in, I want a flower, and and 200 flowers come up.
Gotcha. Then you get the flower you want. Okay. The little motorcycle up there. Little motorcycle. 32 Ford shell, grill shell.
Yeah.
Jesus. Do you ever flea market at all, or you don't sell nothing? You just kind of.
I don't even go to flea markets now because I just, you know, every time you go there's something you got to buy and this is the trunk me and Gene louvered on his louver press.
Okay.
That was 30 years ago or something. We did that.
That's a Mercury, is it not?
Yeah, off mine. The one outside. Yeah.
Did you chop that car?
Chopped it 30 years ago. Yeah, I did. I went to Dick Dean's shop. I met Gene. I met Billy Hines. Everyone who was doing work on Mercury.
Yep.
And I went and quizzed them. How do you chop it? I got all their ideas, and I worked out
the best
of all of them. Yeah. And man, I can chop one in like half a day now.
Yeah.
I've done about 4 or 5 now. So.
Blue Feast barrel. That's pretty cool. The little oil thing. That's cool. A lot of people be after that. You got a lot of hidden gems, you know. You just got to take a look for a second.
Yeah, but you can't get rid of it, can you?
No, you cannot get rid of it. It's kind of what you enjoy, is it not? So you're Frenching the headlights on this car right now?
No. Now what am I doing up to now? I'm got to make the hood close because I've got to make a panel. Now I've done all this. I'm going to make a panel to go there to hold this. But it won't hold the hood. Like, I don't know whether this lip's worn or what. I've got to look into it a bit more, but it won't hold the clip. So that's going to go here. I'll make a whole piece that goes across there, you know, like a Ford.
That stuff takes time, does it not?
It takes a long time. We spent half a day in the hood.
Yeah.
Trying to get it to line up. So there's half a day wasted. I said to the guy, come over, we'll French the headlights last Tuesday. Yeah. We spent half a day lining up the hood.
Yeah. So you use exhaust pipe like I do?
Yeah, well, I made all stuff on the pullmax.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, why don't I just use exhaust pipe for the hood? Because it's
it gives you the shape that you want.
Yeah. See? I made stuff on the pullmax turned out to be the same as exhaust pipe.
And you're still old school, use a torch?
Tack with a MIG and then use a torch. Just because it's easier to grind. And well, with gas tanks, you can't MIG a gas tank because you get too many leaks, you know. You're chasing leaks forever. Unless you seal it, but I don't like sealing them. I weld them all up and then I pressure test them.
Yeah. And this one hit a wall, you say?
Yeah.
So how'd you get fenders for it?
He got some from America.
Okay.
Some of the beatniks in America, you know. It's good having the club in America because parts, you know, if we need parts.
Yep. So did you chop this car?
Yeah, I chopped it and two-doored it. So it was a 4-door.
Okay.
And I chopped it, and now he wants to run exhaust halfway out of the sill here.
Okay.
But there isn't much sill there on these, so I'm thinking about just getting a 2-inch hole saw, drilling a hole in the sill, and then cutting the back section out and reversing using a piece of 2-inch exhaust pipe for the back half of the sill, so it Frenches it in.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's got a full chassis.
That makes sense.
So I'm just going to see how strong it is before I cut the hole.
That makes sense. Did you have anything to do with the steering wheel? Did you have anything to do with that?
What, the pearl?
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, they do it. Yeah. He's getting another one done. It's half two-tone. He said gold, gold and white.
Do you know how they go about that?
No, I don't.
I like it. That's
you can
nice.
do a similar thing with Glad wrap and pearl paint, but not as deep.
See, like it's almost like the mother of pearl almost, you know?
Yeah, they do any colour. They do reds, blues. I think it's about 1,500 now. It used to be, I got one done on a chopped car I did years ago. It was only like $200, but now it's just 1,500. So
1,500 is a lot of money, you know. It's a lot of quid, you know, for a steering wheel. Like,
yeah.
So this was a 2-door, and you made it, or 4-door, and you made it into a 2-door. Yeah. Well, you did an awesome job. I like you got your this shape right. A lot of people cut it out and put it back in and make it too big.
Or they just make it straight.
Yeah,
they just bring it down here straight and leave it.
But I like how you got it small there. It looks good. So this car must be bagged in the back. Yeah. That's why you got it going right there. You steel welded the middle of that hood.
Yeah. I just took your time like you do.
Yeah.
You know, you just got to take your time. But it was bad all here anyhow. This is all bad.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
You get someone to weld it down the middle of a hood with a steel torch. You sort of know what you're doing with a steel torch welder, that's for sure.
And these we're going to run the exhaust out the bumpers.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, I'm going to bring the angle. See the bumper curls in too far.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put the 1 mil, the cut through there, bring it out, and run a weld down the back, get it re-chromed.
What else would you do with it? I mean,
well, he was talking about cutting it out and widening it, but I said it's even the wrong shape. It should be out a bit. Shouldn't.
So you're painting this stuff here?
Yeah. Have a look at those paint. Did you see the paint job in there?
Let's take a look. I want to take a look. Yeah.
These guys, there's a saying, the old FTW. So now they say FT government, FT police, everything. So he said, I want FT police on the rear fender, you know. And there's where he lives in Victoria, there's a task force called the Echo Task Force.
Maybe I got Franco. Frank's sister. Chat.
Yes.
So you got F the police.
Yeah.
And then I've done Victoria Police, Echo Task Force. So they're the police on the rear fender.
So that's what you're doing. You're doing that paint job.
Yeah, it's done. He's just got to come and pick it up.
Yeah. Wow. I don't do any airbrushing. I haven't anyways, just haven't.
I started doing it as a kid, you know.
Yeah,
I think I was 14 years old. I got my first tax check, you know, from my holiday pay and went and bought an airbrush. I thought, you just press this thing and skulls and dragons come out the end, and it didn't work.
So you paint this bike here?
No, it's a friend of mine who just left it here. He's been sick, so.
Why not?
I chopped this. This was a stock bodied car, but I had it for probably 20 years, so I had to chop it.
Yes.
So I chopped it around here.
Yeah. I would too.
Slid it down.
Yeah, makes it too much easier, right?
Oh, yeah.
I agree with that 100%. And it leaves that line alone nice, and you can actually weld it in there and do a nice job on it. Like, So this is a steel car?
Yeah.
Hickory dickory dock, huh?
I've had the Merc there since the late 80s.
Yeah.
It's basically the only car I've got full registration on, you know.
That you run?
Yeah. But it's tired. I should paint. It's never been painted.
Yeah.
It's still got the stock paint on the middle of the roof.
Well, there you go.
Well,
So it was quite a car in its days, or still is quite a car then.
it was a custom from Texas.
Okay.
When I bought it, $4,000, drove it away.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Yeah. And no one wanted them. No one wanted an old dinosaur Mercury, you know.
Yeah. You probably pay that for the side trim and the louvers and well, you pay a lot more than that for the chop.
The funny thing about the side trim is I always wanted it, so I gave Gene some money. I said, look for a full set of Buick side trim for me. So I went for 2 years. He found bits and pieces. So I airbrushed it on, painted it on with all sparkles and stuff. And the day I painted it on,
he found you some.
A guy showed up at my house and said, here's the side trim from... It was still in the spray booth, still masked up.
Oh.
So I went back in, had to paint the side again and put the chrome back on. That's that spray on chrome on the bumpers. That's very old too.
That's cool.
Made like console and steel. That little what did I do in there? Nothing. I made these kick plates, you know.
Yeah.
Polished them, master flames in them, and I've got other panels for here I haven't put back on.
That's cool. 51.
That's that chrome paint. You know, like
kind of turned grey, eh? Or was it always grey looking to you?
Yeah. But you know, like for $50.
Right. I know what you're saying. Yeah. That's a cool old sled. That's a cool old sled. What do you get down here in the driveway?
I built that for a show. My daughter was a dancer, so they did Grease. You know the movie. So they did Grease Lightning.
That's, the first thing I thought when I seen it.
So the other side is all beat up.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's all beat up now. But see, this side was all in primer and all cracked.
Right.
And repairs, and we put old wheels on that side, and they had it on a dolly on the stage, so they were dancing around it. They had on the turtle deck had a dance thing on. The girls were dancing on the back and inside it. So they were singing the first song, I guess, and the curtains closed. They spun the car around.
It was done.
And it was done.
You got a steel grill show?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's been cut down. It's shorter.
Still.
Stainless steel.
Yeah.
Growing a flathead up there. Hasn't really flowered yet.
It hasn't flowered yet?
Waiting for it to spit some carbs, you know.
So you've lived here all your life?
No. I lived in this area all my life. I had a big shop in the middle of the city. I did like the skull castle.
Yeah.
Great big skulls on the front of it, like all out of rock. And then you went inside. I had all the underneath done like a 50s diner. The other half was all glass, so I had all my cars and bikes, all my paintings on the wall, all displayed. It was a 700 square metre warehouse. It was pretty big. And then upstairs I had 5 bedrooms. It was great. Big workshop at the back.
Yeah.
And then they offered me too much money for it, so I sold it, bought this place. This is Alex's recording studio. That goes underground. It's all soundproofed to do sound recording.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty cool. So I get to work and listen to live music.
Oh, is that right? So your son's an artist too?
Well, he was apprenticing tattooing with me.
Yeah.
And then he found music.
Right. So you're basically you tattooed most of your life. Is that what's going on?
Yeah. I tattooed for 34 years. I still tattoo every afternoon usually.
Okay. And that, yes, I'm trying to get my daughter into it. Little Mick's Customs. Bris Vegas. So it's hard to believe like what a tattoo artist can make. You know, if you, like when I go get a tattoo, I know what it costs. And you know, for someone that's going to school, why would you go to college and go in debt for all this money when you can just become an artist and make just as well or more?
And if you put 3 or 4 years into the apprenticeship, like people should be doing, and work with a reputable artist, you can make that money. But there's so many shops opening now. There's these schools on the internet, learn to tattoo. You can't learn. I tell people, the only way to learn is to get someone to teach you, you know? And I was lucky. The guy who taught me, I learned in Phoenix, Arizona, and the guy who taught me, he was very good in technical and hygiene, and he taught me all the right ways, which when I came back here, you know, I sort of adopted them over here. And then I met through the beatniks and that, you know, I met so many great artists, you know, and they really sort of, you know, when you're with them all the time, something's got to rub off on you. You know?
So would you have painted that?
Yeah, that's a bed. That's my son's bed. So he had a blue one and a red one, and he had the suicide door climb into bed every night. He got to sleep in a blown.
Get in the hot rod, boy.
Yeah. And now we had outside for a Christmas decoration. I did rat fink.
Yeah.
Going out the roof of it for Tracy said, "Oh, let's get a nice Christmas decoration." I said, "I'll make one."
So you can just pop that right out, no problem. I take it. Like you just.
Yeah, Alex cut it out.
Yeah.
And then I painted it. Yeah.
Talented. Very talented.
Thank you. Mercury skirt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I just see goodies all over the place. I just see goodies all over the place. Gas pumps, front ends. Like these things here. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty collectible now because they stopped making them, you know.
Yeah.
So how long are you going to be here for?
We're leaving tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we're leaving tomorrow. We've had a great time, man. We've met a lot of people. Everybody's been awesome.
Haven't stopped.
Yeah, we have not stopped. You're right. I've met a lot of people. Yeah. I'm glad I stopped.
Been to the beach?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, Jolene stuck her toes in. I didn't.
Oh, you didn't go swimming or anything?
No. They said if we went swimming, we wouldn't go home. But yeah, this is a beautiful place.
We've been in the pool like every afternoon. Like, it's been that hot.
So what do you think of, you've been in both places in California and you've been, well, you live here. What do you think of the car world here compared to the biggest car, you know, as they say, they're the biggest car place in the world. What do you think of this one? Like
since we've been bringing all the imports in and everything, you know, it's just crazy. But we've always had a big hot rod culture here from the 60s, before the 60s, you know, like, you know, when I was a kid, we had I'm guessing we had hot rod magazines, Australian hot rod magazines from the early 60s.
Okay.
So there was enough of a culture for a magazine to boom, and then there was not just one, there's 3 or 4 came about, so that's how long it's been popular, you know.
I can't believe how many people are like, everywhere is like, just coming here and seeing this. You know, where do you see something like that, unless you know?
But you know what they're saying? They say go to Sweden for Gene's been a few times at Easter time. They have a big car show in Sweden. They said it's the biggest American car show you'll ever see.
Okay. Haven't been
Johnny
there yet.
Agostino goes. He told me to go too. So I might even try going there.
So do you ride this thing much around here?
Nah, not much.
No? Kind of a hard thing to ride? Like it's
No, it's a sidecar. You know?
Can you sit on it for me?
This carb's giving me a hard time, so I've got another carb there.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the carb off the white bike.
Yeah.
So I've been given a really rare carburetor for the white bike. I put that on, just put a regular carb on. There's so runs all the time for shows, you know. You just.
Aha, okay.
Clutch.
Yeah.
Gear stick.
Yeah. It's good when you have it like this, when you have your clutch up there. But when you have when you're on 2 wheels and a clutch up there,
I run jockey shift on those 2 bikes. That one isn't, but I usually run foot clutch on everything, you know.
That's cool, isn't it? I'd just like to have one sitting around like you do.
Well, I used to have it in the tattoo studio on display all the time. Well, I had both of them alternately at the shop just because I had such a big shop.
Yeah.
But it's hard to keep anything clean, you know.
Has to be on it full time.
I didn't realise I got a sticker. Oh, because I won the show. They put #1 on there, look.
You're #1, man.
Yeah, I won the award up there, yeah.
Awesome. So how long you been a part of the Beatniks?
Since 90, about a year after they started.
Okay.
I was the only member over here for about 20 years. And I was going to America twice a year, you know.
I am friends with Alex Gambino. Alex has been a pretty good friend of ours. We went there a couple times.
Susie's funny, his wife, and she's
First time, well, me and Jolene ever went for a trip. We went to Alex's place, and I asked Alex, you know, can you help us out? Can you give us a little bit of work while we're there to, you know, help us, you know, do our thing. And he ended up getting us a camper and let us stay there. And
he's a great guy.
And yeah, we did a bit of work there. Jolene stayed there. We had a fantastic time. Fantastic time.
I went to Yokohama show, and a bunch of the Australian beatniks went over, and we heard a few American beatniks were coming over, you know, and sitting there in the lobby checking in. I look over, and Alex walks through the front door. I couldn't believe it. It's so good to see him. I hadn't seen him for a little while. Yeah. And he does nice work too. Like he lives and breathes it.
He does. He has. He got his one big, you know, his cover on the front of the Rotter Journal. That was pretty cool when he got that happening. I'm not sure what's going on right now. Like I haven't talked to him lately. He has sent us a couple videos that are quite funny. But he's got a new shop now, or he's kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, he got mucked around a bit with his shops.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to him for a little while, but there's a few guys coming over for our big Cooley Rock show, which is on in June. We have it down on the beach.
Yeah.
And we chopped a Merc there last year. It's funny because the beatniks in America put up a post, and meanwhile in Australia, and it had all us chopping a Mercury. Just standard thing, just cutting up a Merc in Australia.
Yeah. So you do tattoo work? You still do tattoo work?
Oh yeah. I'm working all day tomorrow. Yeah, I've been booked out for the day. Yeah.
That's good, eh? Like you're happy with it?
It keeps me busy.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, it's art, you know. So, you know, like this morning I did that motorcycle tank, started that paint.
Yeah.
Then I started doing the headlights, and then if you weren't coming, I'd probably be tattooing tonight.
Right on.
So, but I've been tattooing for a long time, you know, so it's just natural.
Right. You just sit down and go. I can see that you're good at it because you can see the paintings you're doing on the wall and stuff like that.
A lot of car guys will say, do my car on me, you know, so I'll do their car, and you know, or they'll say airbrush my car. I said, oh, motorcycle, what do you want on it? Oh, do all my tattoos all over my bike. You know, sometimes I copy the artwork either off the bike onto them, or them onto the bike or the car.
Right.
I've done that a lot, you know, and I do a lot of car and bike tattoos, you know, like a lot. That's probably, I'd say,
what people want.
Yeah. And they sort of come to you because they know what, you know, like a lot of people wouldn't know where a nut and bolt was on a flathead, or, you know, they say, I want a Chev engine. I want a Hemi, I want this, you know. But,
are you a mechanic at all?
I'll pull down an engine, but I'll always get someone else to do the machine work and the measuring and that. You know.
Same as me. I'm more into the art of it than anything.
Yeah, we're not even you know, panel beaters or, you know, bodywood guys. We're artists, you know, building the stuff we do, you know. Like,
well, I guess I'm learning that.
Because, you know, like, there's a lot of body guys around, but they can't build stuff like we build.
Right.
You know, you know. Like when I got the Mercury, I used to work at a shop. I did 10 years in the body shop. Yeah. So I said to my old boss, I said, can I bring the Mercury down there and chop it? Because I didn't have a shop or anything. I drove it in there. What are you going to do? I said, I'm going to chop 4 inches out of this roof. And they just thought I was crazy, you know. And they walked around it for a couple of days. And when I drove out, they said, we thought you were crazy, but that looks incredible, you know. Like, awesome. They just haven't got the sight that we've got, you know. You've got to have that vision of what it's going to look like.
Yeah, what you're going for. What you're going for.
You know, like that Chevy, everything I've done on Chevy's been done 100 times before. Frenched headlights, the grills and that, you know. It's good to do something different, you know. That's why I like the rat rods, you know. They do something different, and it's not costing them a fortune, you know. Like,
we just went to a shop, and some of the patina vehicles that I've seen, you know, like your little coupe out there, doesn't have to be perfect and all shiny to really be attractive. You know what I'm getting at? Like some of the patina jobs people are doing is fantastic, I think. Keeping them that way.
I just did a kid's 65 Thunderbird here just the other week. and he got quoted $35,000 to paint it, and $35,000 to the bodywork rotisserie. He's an apprentice electrician, so he hasn't got a lot of money. I said, I'll do all the rust. We got all the rust on it, so there's no rust in the car. I said, you get it going, you get all back together and everything driving, and when it's at that stage, we'll bring it back here, we'll blow in the paint so it looks reasonable. I'll put a flame job on it, pinstripe it, do whatever. And I said, that way you can be in a car park, someone can scratch it, you won't even care, you know. But if you spend $35,000 on that paint job, you'll pull out your hair if you see a scratch in it, you know. And that's what you want. You want something you can drive. Some of this stuff, you know. A guy came up to me at a car show. We drove, all the beatniks went down. We did 2,000 kilometre run, all the whole club down to Phillip Island. And this guy came up to me and says, oh, I've got a Mercury. I said, oh, yeah. He said, you're from Queensland. I said, you didn't drive it all the way. Yeah, of course I did. He said, I wouldn't drive mine that far. I said, where's yours? He said, I live across the bridge there in the next town. I said, where's your Mercury? He said, I don't bring it out on the road.
Oh, wow.
So he's got this Mercury sitting at home, doesn't even drive it. 200,000 he's got in the car.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd have 200,000 in most all the car. Hard to say that, but or not hard to say that.
It's like this thing. I did it all on the cheap, you know.
Yeah. I like the paint. I like the white and the gold together with the red. I really like it.
I was just looking today. I thought I've got white on this. I got white on that bike. White on that bike. I got white on Tracy's Buick. Yeah.
You must like white.
I guess it's easy to keep clean, huh? Easier than black.
There you go. We're going to show the world this, aren't we, baby? Huh? Jolene will show.
Yeah, I don't think it's been in a magazine as a cover car, but never outside of America, I don't think.
And you were inspired by like an Ed Roth sort of deal thing?
Yeah, well, I met Ed Roth in. Look, there's a picture of me in Ed Roth somewhere.
I never got to meet him.
This is me and Ed Roth. Look, Ed Roth.
Yeah, I've seen that on your shirt.
This is me and Ed Roth in 1984. And this car is in Detroit Autorama on display this weekend, I think.
Yeah, Gallopin owns it. Yeah.
So I was in Gallopers and I jumped the fence and got my picture taken in front of it. And it was almost, it was really shiny and new then. He was polishing it with a car polish, and he said, this stuff's supposed to last 6 months, this stuff's supposed to last 6 months. So he masked a line down the front of the car, polished one half of the car with one polish.
I wanted to know.
Polish. He said, I'm going to see which is the best polish. And he said, what do you do? I said, airbrush t-shirts and car shows. There's only 2 people in Australia doing it. He said, everyone does it out here like it's up.
He's the one who invented that.
Him and Von Dutch. They started airbrushing the clothing. Well, before they started airbrushing, a t-shirt was underwear.
Yeah.
And then they started airbrushing and become
a
clothing.
Shirt.
Yeah. So
we watched a little show on that. He got credit for doing that, like airbrushing the first shirt and stuff like that.
But I had Dennis Roth, Ed's son, in this, and we're going down to a car show, and we broke down. The vacuum line came off the transmission, wouldn't shift.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm so sorry, that we broke down. Me and Dad used to do all this all the time. He got out and started polishing the car while I was fixing it. It didn't faze him,
Well, that's what old cars are, man.
He said him and his dad used to break down going somewhere, and he said, you walk that way for a quarter of a mile, I'm walking this way for a quarter of a mile, pick up everything you see. And he said they go quarter mile down the road, cross, quarter mile back, so they work half a mile each. Yeah. And he said by the time they got back, they had enough nuts and bolts to build a whole car.
Sounds like it. Awesome.
Have you met Dennis?
I have not.
Great guy. He came out here. He was here for a while.
Yeah.
Great guy. He's so much knowledge. Yeah, because he hung out with Barris, and Barris and his wife Shirley were Priscilla's guardians when she came back from America when she was going out with Elvis. He's got all stories about that.
Priscilla
Presley. George Barris. His wife Shirley and him were her guardians or something.
Okay.
Because the parents were in the military.
Small world, eh?
Yeah, and some of the stories he told, like Steve McQueen, a lot of actors and stuff, because he's there. They all came to his dad's shop, and Von Dutch, and You know, he tells stories about his dad, Von Dutch, with machine guns and drinking beer out in the desert and playing up. And
I've got that tattooed on my leg.
Yeah. I never got him. When I went to meet him, he said, "Oh, you should have bought me something to pinstripe." I never did. I got him tattooed on my leg, and a friend of one of the beatniks gave it a photo of it, and Dennis said he had it beside his phone, a picture of my leg beside his phone.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a big inspiration, you know, for this sort of stuff. But yeah,
that's basically I went different. You know, I mean, you follow somebody that, you know, that's somebody that was really looked upon as a great artist in the car world. You know, so wasn't George Barris and Gene Winfield and them guys. So you pretty well, if you really want to be an artist in the car world, you got to blow a bubble. Have you not? Like, you got to blow a bubble. Like,
do you know about the X-Sonic, the Corvette, the first bubble top hydraulic car?
I think maybe.
A guy called Ron Aguirre. It was a pretty new Corvette, so I'm thinking a 63 maybe.
Yeah.
His dad worked in the military, and they had a car club, and they got in trouble for their lowered cars. So his dad put a hand pump hydraulic kit in the car, first one.
Yeah.
And he said the cops used to pull him over, and he'd, you know,
pump it up,
and the cop would walk away, and he'd lower it, and say, "Oh, it does look low from a distance." And he put a bubble top on it too, and he helped Roth do his bubble tops.
Did that car come to a point like that?
Yeah.
I think
I had two beauty lines down the hood, and it was rope that had been fiberglassed over.
Are you serious?
And then this friend of mine said,
rope.
Yeah.
With fiberglass over it. Yep.
And then, so a friend of mine said, "I know a bubble top car in LA." I said, "What?" He said, "A Corvette." He said, "It's in my friend's backyard."
Wow.
So he said, I said, "Can you take me around and show me your friend's?" He said, "Oh, another friend of mine's got it in his Corvette shop now." I went in, it was Ron Aguirre's car there in front of me. I couldn't believe it. No bubble top, but
there it was.
Yeah, the whole car, yeah. Yeah, and everything on it wasn't really bad, because it must have been a new car when they customised it. You know, it wasn't like, you know, nothing was tore up on it. Everything was still pretty tidy. And he was going to restore it, but I think someone else got hold of it. Maybe Gaplin or something might have it now.
I'm not sure who has it, but I think I've seen it restored.
It was a nice looking car.
I never heard that story though, him pumping it up. You know, I never heard that story. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
That would be funny. What do you think, baby? Should we have a bubble top motorcycle? We was actually going to make one during the show, was we not? Or try to, but we decided to not do that because we had 2 weeks. And that wasn't in the...
Well, I thought, how do you do it? You can't sit in a bubble and ride a motorcycle, so I'll put it on the side, you know?
Yeah.
And it doesn't look that offset. You know, looking there, it looks normal. You don't realise the back wheel's so far over. So even the back fender, see, it goes like that.
Yeah. Can you open that up one more time so I can take a look at that one? I want to look at that again.
It's just step down. So these are just hubs off an independent suspension. Can you see it?
Yeah.
So this goes straight up, and that makes the frame. Then there's the sprocket, and the disc is on the inside, I think.
Yeah.
And then, it just drops right down, so really low, you know.
That's badass. I keep saying it, but it's badass. That's cool. That deserves to be in somebody's house. You know, and sit and look at it. I could sit and look at that all day.
Oh, do you want to have a look at that? You got time for the pullmax, or you want to go? What do you?
I'm not sure what they're doing.
They'll be drinking beer. So, look, they're solving the world. Look.
Is that how that goes?
Oh, well, this car needs a paint job, they're saying.
And you're saying, no, it don't.
It does.
It does.
This is a Corvette race car. Hit the wall doing like some world record.
I think that's sort of somewhat the painting that Roy won has some sort of horn person on it like this.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, you were Horny Mike never met you, obviously. We drew horns way before he even knew what horns were about, eh? Yeah. Like, no doubt in my mind.
That was a beautiful car. Like, yeah, the finish on it for a race car was ridiculous. It's like a show car and then put it into the wall.
That got taken off.
Yeah, you just cut it straight out.
Di! Oh, Di's talking on the phone. I'll just ask him for a second.
I'll go and set this dome up and I'll...
Okay, I'll be right back. What do you think, Rod? Like, do you want to pull out here? Got a couple minutes or what? Look at this. This would be... quite something, eh? Be able to do that. I hear him cutting off a piece of metal, so. That's the fender off the Chevy that he's working on right at the present moment. It hit the wall, and that's what it did. It hit the wall. Hit the wall.
So all the dies are on here square, so you can't really, everything line, you just line it up and then switch it on. Get the dies out. I thought it had some louvers and stuff here, like, that I might have cut. That's the smallest louver it does.
Can you play the wooden bongo drums?
No, I paint them.
I paint them. Okay, right on. This. A little louvers in there now, would you? Huh?
So they can be any length.
Yeah. That's quite a machine right there. That's quite a tool.
The whole thing is, the guy I bought it off said you can make any panel for any car on this machine. And he was right. You don't need anything else. Even the beading tool,
yeah.
There's one that's just a dot. So you can write your name. You go any direction with it. I did, I've done like flames, all kinds of stuff, just freehand.
Nice piece of artwork up there.
And you know, just if you're doing a patch panel,
yeah.
Just to run it through this for a second, it
makes some nice shape.
Yeah, just it breaks the metal, so you're as you're welding it, it'll turn it one way, you know.
Get any little tiny burr on it, it messes it up, eh?
Oh, some are tight, some are loose. Because I've made them all, they're all a little bit different, you know.
That would take quite a piece of machinery just to get it here.
You know how I got it off the truck?
No.
Put it in reverse and hit the brakes.
I guess
all these machines were on the one truck. And the tow truck driver just looked at each other and laughed. That's what I want to do with that. I want to make it like an old school tow truck and have a real crazy cranking system on it. Like get a couple of old bicycles, sprockets or something, and if you make one panel, you just remember your settings for how many turns this is and out.
Okay.
So you can make the same fender or the same shape. You've just got to remember, you know, write it down. That was, you know, one turn to do one, and
right,
and draw lines on it or whatever you need to do.
Generally, yeah, that's what I sort of do. Once whatever I do on one side, I try to do on the other.
Yeah. know, like the fenders you do it on the oil truck, if you would have made those flat and then ran them, it would have given you a nice break, you know, and even when you weld, it makes it a little bit easier too, you know. That'll eventually go, what's that, a couple of minutes.
Not even.
And if you're doing a fender, you can just go. It gives you a break for the edge, but you force it. So you hold it up as you go.
Yeah.
It'll start giving you the shape, you know.
So I get a kick out of how many people make them blisters and say it's a big deal, right? You just made it
and you just draw the pattern.
Yeah,
and
like,
you just follow it. You know, like.
Yeah.
It's good enough to chrome, like you'll get it.
Wow. Like, I mean, just in all honesty, like, I mean, you said you make that into them tanks. I was saying, wow, that'd take what? Wow. And then just weld it together, cut it out and weld it together. Yeah, wow. Yeah.
Look, here's one here. Here's one. That isn't finished, but that's an oil tube.
That's a dunce cap.
Yep. There's another one.
Yeah.
But you know, make that's 2 mil steel, eh? Imagine pounding that, then trying to put an English wheeling out like that all day. And see, there's a fender. So it's the centre of your fender.
Yeah.
And it gives it like a lot of shape. Real quick.
I can see that.
I just made a whole roof for a 33 coupe. 4 of us were here.
Yeah.
And we're just running it through. So we run it that way. And we run it this way, and it gave a really nice break in the roof, and just made it so easy, you know, no warping, no. Great.
Wow. I want a pullmax, baby.
Yeah.
Where would? Yeah, I'll have to.
I think they're made in Sweden originally, but they still make new ones.
Yeah, I wonder what that would cost.
That one there was $3,000, but I got like $7,000 worth of tooling with it.
Yeah.
Boxes and boxes of tooling.
Yeah, I could see using that all the time. Especially with the dies you have, like just the die there.
But look at this one. This one does, because it's that shape, and this is concave, it's rolling it as it's, so you're doing this will make a fender.
Yeah.
A 3-inch fender for a Harley.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, just running that through there and just and go.
That's the thing I made Gene. I made him a smaller one of these for the Mercury. It's only about that big. See, even this one's dish too, so that bends it both ways. The beading thing's so cool, you know. If you want straight, and there's another tool, you have trouble doing a nice straight bead.
Yeah.
I got a beading tool that long, so you just put in it, and you can't go crooked. Go straight, and then when you come to the corners, you can use the corner one. And it's no big deal to take it in and out. And you know what? If you wreck the bead, you put it back in there, and I've got a planishing hammer in there. Just flat again, redo it on. Same with the louvers. Like when I was doing the long ones for the Chevy, I wrecked one, I hammered it flat, welded it, and recut the louver.
Sometimes it's nice to actually stretch that metal, get it going, so it don't distort the panel. Yeah. So
Oh yeah, it'll fix a warp panel. This motorcycle, I won a big award. Look at the gas tank I did. Had a hole through the middle. And then had a hole through the top. There. Had 2 holes in the top that you look through.
Okay. You did this motorcycle?
Yeah, I did all the metal work on it. Yeah, made the tank, made the primary, painted it.
Wow. And this is something that you're doing right at the present moment for somebody?
This is for a kid. Yeah, his first motorcycle. But I did his helmet for him when he was racing. He's a world champion BMX rider.
Okay.
And I did his helmet for him. Now he liked the artwork so much he wants it put all over his new bike.
Well, there you go. Pretty cool. Look at this now. You even got a naked statue here. Is this supposed to be Marilyn?
Jane Mansfield.
Jane Mansfield.
Yeah, I'm gonna just
smooth it up and.
Yeah, but when they made it, one of her legs is real fat. I'm gonna cut a leg down and change around a bit.
Cool. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. I think we've met an artist in Australia that, it's kind of, cool. He's kind of blown my mind with that pullmax thing over there. And I see a bunch of stuff around the shop as I walk around, but I think it's really cool. A bunch of artwork just everywhere. If you just, stuff like that. There's paintings on the wall everywhere. He's a tattoo artist, and obviously he's a well-known tattoo artist. He has many awards in magazines and stuff like that. The bubble car and the bike that he's got out front there blew me away. And
I'll see if I can find a copy of the magazine the bubble car's in and give it to you.
Cool.
I think I had a couple given to me.
Like, share, comment, and you may as well subscribe. And we are with Mick, the beatnik from Australia. And if you need anything done from airbrushing to tattooing, give him a jingle.
Thank you, sir.
No worries.